Hey everybody. Well, you may have noticed I did not upload a new video this Thursday, and that was due to the fact that I was working hard on finishing my new tarp that I've just made. Finally finished it, and I'm just going to do a quick video here kind of showing the details of the tarp and how I pitch it and what it looks like pitched. Later I will come out with a video. I took photos step by step along the way, so I'll come out with a video kind of describing how you could make your own. So anyways, this is a ground tarp. Unlike my last tarp, which was designed primarily for hammock use, this will be used for use on the ground. And it's hopefully what I'll be using along the PCT. It's a Silnylon tarp. It is 9 foot 6 inches long, and it pitches with trekking poles. So it's a very lightweight tarp. In the stuff sack, this comes in at 9.5 ounces. So really light. And of course, that will eventually, I'll need to include the ground sheet, because this is not like a traditional tent. It is just a tarp. So I will need some type of ground sheet to sleep on. So that'll eventually factor into the weight, but at 9.5 ounces, that's hard to beat. So what I figure I'll do now is just set this up, show you how I pitch it, and then go into some more details on the dimensions and different features. Okay, so now I've got the tarp pitched here. You can get a good idea of just what it looks like looking down through the tarp. You can see the trekking pole suspension here. I just placed the top end of the trekking pole into the ground and feed the tip through a little D-ring I have attached to the ridge line here. And at the ridge line, the length of the total tarp is 9 foot 6 inches, so 9.5 feet, and that gives me a good about 3 foot of wiggle room beyond my height to keep the rain out. So it's plenty long. Not really going to get any rain on me, although you will get a little bit of rain coming in from the side. I noticed with my previous tarp that it's really not as much as you would think, and so I hope I'll stay pretty dry in this tarp. Now for the head dimensions, if you go out from the ridgeline perpendicular down to the corner tie-outs, one of these panels is 4 foot wide on the head of the tent. So that means an 8 foot total width at the head. And then you'll see the height tapers down as well. The front of the tip, or the front of the tent, I designed to be about 42 inches high, and the back of the tent about 30 inches high. So it's a foot lower at the back of the tent, so it tapers down, saves a little weight, and is a little bit lower down here at the foot end, as it should be. There's really no reason to have excess room. It'll keep it a little drier with a lower roof. But you can see at the foot end down here, if you go perpendicular from the ridge line to a tie out, it is 3 foot. So that is a 6 foot total width at the foot end. For the tie outs, I just reinforced the Silnylon. Oh, I guess I should say this is 1.3 ounce per square yard Silnylon, and it's reinforced here with some regular ripstop nylon, and then I bar tacked a piece of grosgrain ribbon onto the corner there. Now this ribbon is so light, I'm a little afraid that it's gonna tear or rip, but according to other people that have made tarps, it works just fine. It's held up fine for them, so I'm hoping it'll hold up well for me. As you can see on the actual ridge line of the tarp, I used nylon webbing, which is a little stronger and certainly more durable. So I know these will hold up well. That's what I used on my previous tarp. I'm just hoping these grosgrain tie-outs work well too, and they should. And you can also see I've got a piece of elastic here like I did with my previous tarp, and that helps keep the tarp tensioned under any weather, under rain. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of sag as the Silnylon gets wet, so this will keep this tarp nice and tight no matter what. And you can also see I've attached some Amsteel tech line if I ever need to pitch the tarp a little bit higher. And one thing I'll definitely be doing when it's hotter out is pitching these corners. I'll be tying them out much farther away, and that creates a much breezier tint but still protects you from rain. And you can see the D-ring up here where the trekking pole slips through, and it ties out to these little shepherd's hook stakes that I've been using titanium. They're actually working pretty well. I was surprised how well they hold and how strong they are. And so in total there are 6 tie-outs or guy lines for the tarp, 1 on each corner and 1 to hold up the ridge line with the 2 trekking poles. I did add these little midway tie-outs here. You can see about halfway between the 2 corners I added an extra tie-out. I haven't added line to them yet, but the intent was to, in windy conditions, just tie it out, make it a little more sturdy, or in extremely windy and rainy conditions, tie them down to the ground and keep from any rain from blowing in from the sides. So it's just a couple extra tie-outs just to make it pitch a little more tight. And you can see the front here. One other thing I've added is on each of the D-ring on the ridgeline, each side of the ridgeline, I've added a little ribbon here with a circular ring you can clip into. And the intent there was I'm considering making like an inner tent, so basically a mesh bug net tent with a bathtub floor to keep extreme amounts of rain out. And what I was intending is I was hoping to clip the corner of that shelter basically into this side of the tent tarp, and then clip the other end onto the same ring I have down here, and so that'll basically support the inner bug net tent within this tarp. Now I'm not sure I'll be doing that for the PCT. I will be taking a ground sheet to sleep on. I really don't know if I need the full-on bug shelter. Of course I will have some type of bug netting. I was thinking of maybe just taking a sheet of some of the tulle fabric that I made my hammock bug net out of, which is extremely light, and just kind of draping it over me as I need it. We'll see. I will be taking a mosquito bug net because from what I've read the mosquitoes can get quite bad, so we'll see. Also, hopefully you can see along the inner ridgeline of the tarp I've added a bunch of little tie-outs, and those can be used for supporting a bug net or just tying some gear to, like a headlamp or anything like that. So that is the tarp. I'll give you an idea of what it looks like inside, with me inside. So you can see it's pitched. I should bring up the camera a little bit. It's pitched fairly low here, but I still have plenty of headroom. I can lean over and cook here, or just read a book or sit back. And obviously if I want more headroom I can pitch the tarp higher. It'll just either make for steeper walls or it'll allow more airflow. Inside you can see I have plenty of room. Ultimately I designed it to be a one-person tarp, but you could really fit 2 people in here pretty easily, especially with a ground sheet underneath you. So there's plenty of room. As I said, you can add more room by pitching it higher. So that's the tarp. I think I've gone into all the details. Hopefully, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I'll be bringing out the step-by-step video sometime, like I said. So stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you later.